CEO discovers company's dark secret through unlikely source. Story fills original script, 800 words. The elevator climbed to the 47th floor as Chen adjusted his Italian silk tie. As CEO of Pinnacle Industries, he lived in a world of quarterly reports and boardroom conquests. But tonight's charity gala would shatter everything he thought he knew about his empire. The ballroom glittered with crystal chandeliers and the city's elite. Marcus moved through conversations about tax write-offs and social media optics, his smile practiced and empty. These events were theater, wealthy people congratulating themselves for tossing crumbs to the less fortunate. Mr. Chen? A soft voice interrupted his thoughts. He turned to see a young black woman in a server's uniform, probably 19, with intelligent eyes that seemed to pierce right through his facade. Yes, he replied, barely glancing at her name tag that read, Keisha. I work at your packaging facility on 5th Street, she said quietly, balancing a tray of champagne flutes. I need to tell you something important. Marcus frowned. Employees weren't supposed to approach him directly at these events. File a complaint with HR on Monday, he dismissed, reaching for his phone. Children are getting sick, she pressed on, her voice steady despite her hands trembling slightly. My little brother attends the daycare next to your factory. 3 kids hospitalized last month. The parents think it's connected to the chemicals. That's quite an accusation, Marcus replied coldly. Do you have proof? Keisha reached into her apron and pulled out a crumpled envelope. Water test results. Air quality readings. I saved up for months to get them done independently. Marcus barely glanced at the papers. Our facility meets all EPA standards. Perhaps you should focus on serving drinks rather than playing environmental scientist. The room suddenly felt colder. Conversations halted as nearby guests turned to watch the exchange. Keisha's composure never wavered, but something flickered in her eyes, not anger, but profound disappointment. I have 2 jobs to pay for night school, she said quietly. Environmental science major. Those aren't just numbers on paper, Mr. Chen. Those are children who can't breathe properly. She set the tray down and walked away, leaving Marcus standing among the city's elite with an envelope full of data he refused to examine. The gala continued around him, but the champagne tasted bitter now. That night, alone in his penthouse, Marcus finally opened the envelope. The numbers were damning. Chemical levels far exceeding safe limits. Particulate matter readings that painted a picture of systematic environmental violations. But what hit him hardest was a child's drawing tucked between the official reports, a crayon sketch of kids playing under a black cloud, with "Help Us" written in uneven letters. The signature read, Tyler, age 6. Marcus called an emergency board meeting for the next morning. When he presented the evidence, the room erupted in defensive rhetoric. We have plausible deniability, snapped board member Harrison Wells. Some part-time waitress with community college test results? Our legal team will destroy her credibility in court. She's a student, not a waitress, Marcus corrected sharply. And these readings are legitimate. Marcus, be practical, interjected CFO Patricia Stone. Retrofitting that facility would cost us $40 million. We're better off settling quietly if any lawsuits emerge. Settling? Marcus stood, his voice rising. We're talking about children's health. About a community we've systematically poisoned while hiding behind regulatory loopholes. The boardroom fell silent. Harrison leaned back, studying Marcus with calculating eyes. You're getting emotional. That's not like you. Don't let some sob story cloud your business judgment. Marcus realized in that moment how deeply he'd lost himself in this world of profits over people. He thought about Keisha's courage, a teenage student working 2 jobs, spending her own money to protect children she didn't even know, then risking her livelihood to confront a CEO who could destroy her with a phone call. Emergency board resolution, Marcus announced. We're shutting down operations at the 5th Street facility pending a complete environmental overhaul. Full medical coverage for affected families. And we're establishing a community oversight board with real authority. You can't be serious, Harrison protested. The shareholders will learn what real corporate responsibility looks like, Marcus cut him off. Anyone who opposes this resolution can submit their resignation today. 3 months later, Marcus stood before a very different kind of gathering. Not a charity gala, but a community meeting in the renovated facility that now housed both a state-of-the-art manufacturing plant and a free health clinic. Keisha sat in the front row, no longer wearing a server's uniform but her college graduation cap. Environmental science degree, summa cum laude, she announced with a smile. And my first job is as Pinnacle Industries' new Director of Community Environmental Affairs. The audience erupted in applause. Tyler, the boy whose drawing had changed everything, ran up and handed Marcus a new picture, this one showing children playing under a bright blue sky. As Marcus looked out at the faces before him, workers, families, students, he understood something that had eluded him for years. True success wasn't measured in stock prices or quarterly profits. It was measured in the courage to listen when someone speaks truth to power, and the wisdom to act when action matters most. Sometimes the most powerful lessons come from the most unexpected teachers. And sometimes, the best investment a CEO can make is in the brave voice of someone who refuses to stay silent. If this story moved you, let us know in the comments below where you're watching from. Remember to subscribe to Story Fills and hit that notification bell so you never miss another powerful story about justice, courage, and the triumph of doing what's right.